Hey guys, I am Ian K, and I'm back with part two of my artifact management series. And in this part two, I will be talking mainly about the chest. So I've went over the glove on the previous video. Now in the second part, I'll be going over the chest. All right, so I'll be going over the same guideline. So in general, the guideline will be pretty much exactly the same. We will be first classifying the piece based on their main stat. Then we'll evaluate their subset combination depending on the classification of the piece. And then we decide whether to keep or sell. Then when we decide to keep the piece, then we'll have to roll the gear. Once we roll the gear, once again, we decide whether to keep or sell based on the rolls. And we also do a little bit more advanced tactic where we compare a piece with the piece that we just got with similar pieces that we already have and to see whether we decide to keep that piece or not, right? So for chess, there are the same classification that I put into. One is a damage dealer piece where we have a main stat of attack percentage, HP percentage, or defense percentage for their respective stat nukers, or support piece, which overlap with it, which are the HP percent and defense percentage, but their subset combination will be different, obviously. And then finally, a specialty piece. So accuracy and resistance, while they're not really specialty piece, since more there are actually uses for accuracy chest and resistance chest, but the stats that they have, the subsets that they have, are pretty much the same as specialty pieces, like the flat stat pieces. So which we will be go into on our next slides, which are the substat combinations. All right, so firstly, the damage dealer piece. So we have the attack percentage, HP percentage, and defense percentage chats. So for substats, what we are mainly looking for damage dealer pieces are crit rate and or crit damage and speed. These are the top two priority. Then I've added like a breaker here, which are, the third priority is accuracy, which what I mean here is that it's still a priority, but it's not as high priority as the top two substats right here. All right. And then next is the support piece. So in the support piece, we have the HP percentage and defense percentage main stat. And then the substats priority will be speed and accuracy. So these are the two priority stats for support pieces. And then I have a break here with HP percentage and defense percentage opposite of the main stat for the support piece as well as resistance. So these two are not as high priority as the top two. Finally, we have the specialty piece. So accuracy and resistance, the main stats you want to look for these two pieces are mainly speed, but then speed is for pieces that you actually want to use for like an accuracy or resistance piece that you want to use those pieces for a proper build, you want speed. But for specialty pieces, so this is where you want any of the subsets here that are a specialty piece which have speed, crit rate, or crit damage, and you want them to roll into this stats because for let's say flat stat pieces, right? You don't you won't be equipping those pieces with this specific rolls like a quad speed roll on any champion. You only want to equip the flat stat pieces on quad speed rolls on like your speed booster, right? So for champions like that, a speed booster, it doesn't matter what their other stats as long as it's the fastest piece that you have. So that is one example for a quad speed. But if you have another piece that is a flat stat with have like a maybe a triple crit rate roll and one crit damage roll with a flat defense. So it may not sound good on paper, but actually, pieces like that are useful for max HP nukers, like Coldheart, your Septimus, your Royal Guard. So those champion that, or even like a Seer, champions that does damage not based on a stat. So champions like that, all you need is just the specific subset of crit rate, crit damage. It doesn't matter what their main stat is. Those are what the specialty pieces with crit rate, crit damage are for. Then like speed is for like a speed booster. All right. So those are the subset combinations that we have for the three um, classification of pieces. Finally, we decide whether we want to keep or sell the piece. So once again, it's the same criteria. If it's a rare piece, it should have at least one of the first priority subsets, the first or second, meaning before the break here. So the first, second subset priority combination. If it doesn't have at least one of them, you sell it. For epic pieces, it should have at least one of the priority subset, and a legendary, same thing. It should have at least one of the priority subsets. Next, you roll. So once you decide to keep the piece based on your subset combination, again, highly suggest rolling a gear to at least +8. Once you roll the gear to +8, this is where you decide whether to keep or sell again. So the first line again, the same thing. If it has all your subset combinations, it doesn't matter what it rolls, you keep that piece anyway. If it doesn't have all priority subset, it has some non-priority subsets like a flat stat roll uh, subsets right there. If it rolls both of it hitting the wrong subset, it is a sell. And if you are short on gear space and you want to make room, I suggest rolling your epic and legendary pieces to +12 as well. So if you're rolling to +8 and you hit like one roll hitting your priority substats and another not hitting it, that's still kind of a 50-50 piece. It's you still don't know whether it's a good piece or not. So by rolling it to +12, you can see whether the third roll hit or misses the subset. If it misses, it is most likely a sell because again, you still don't know whether it's a good piece or not. And rolling it to +16 might be too expensive, might not be worth it unless it's like the only piece of that type that you have in your account. That is when you keep it. All right, and this is where that comes in. So if you're short on inventory space, or if you have very few gear pieces, meaning that you only have one gear of that type, that is when you can decide to keep that piece. And if you have many of that same piece, then you can compare the piece to see which are your best pieces to keep or to sell. So a general rule of thumb is to keep two or three of the same type of piece in each set. If you don't have many champions geared yet, for example, you haven't completed your faction wars yet, so you still have many champions to build that you probably haven't 6-star yet or you haven't maxed out yet, you can keep up to five in a good or matching set. What I mean here is that keeping, let's say, support pieces in supportive sets like speed, accuracy, perception, and keeping damage dealer sets damage dealing pieces in like damage dealing sets such as Savage, Cruel, Offense, Crit Damage, those kind of matching sets. For those, you can keep up to five. Or like not sets that are generally not as good, like for example, Daze set, uh, what other bad sets are there? Defense set, Life set. Those sets that are not that good, keeping two or three of those sets are generally the limit. All right, so then if you have more than the advised number of pieces, then you sell the worst ones, keep the best ones. Yep, so then again, my final tip, if you don't have any other piece in that specific set, I recommend keeping at least one of it. Even if it's not that good, just keeping it one just in case you might need that piece to complete a set, especially if it's a four-piece set. Generally, four-piece set are harder to complete, so you should have at least one to just have it in case you need it to complete a four-piece set. Then advanced tips here is to consider the sets. Like I mentioned before, if it's a damage dealing set, it's more valuable in damage. If it's a damage dealing piece, it's more valuable in damage dealing sets like Cruel, Savage, Crit Damage. If it's a support piece, it's better in supportive sets like Accuracy, Perception, uh, Life set, those kind of sets. Consider rarity. So rarity is another factor to consider because 6-star pieces can be better than 5-star pieces, mainly because of the main stat difference, which are like 6 plus 16 percentage chest can on a 6 star is 60%, but on a 5 star it's 5%. So that 10% difference is already a 1.5 roll on your substats, plus the um, substat roll itself. So a double um, rare can be better than a triple uh, epic 5 star, which is the high roll and low roll here, because on average, the average roll of a 6 star can be better than a low roll of a 5 star. So like a speed set, for example, a speed piece, if you low roll a triple speed, which is a +4 roll, it's only +16 speed. But if you high roll or average roll a plus a 6 star piece, double speed roll, like a 6, 6, and a 5, that is already a 17 speed. So a double roll is better than a triple epic 5 star roll. All right, so those are the tips that I have on how I gear uh, for chest. Now I'm going over some examples on my account. I've just farmed some ice golem. I have a few pieces of gear here. So I will just specifically go over my chest, my new chest. So I've got 8 pieces of chest right here. So let's see how I keep my chest. So this is a HP support piece with 1 priority stats, which is a speed roll. So if uh, you're still early mid game, this can still be considered a keep to roll to see if it rolls double speed. A 6 star resistance chest without any of the priority subsets, without speed. It has accuracy, but for chest, there is already like an accuracy chest piece. So if you really want accuracy on a chest piece, you might as well just go for an accuracy chest piece rather than a resistance piece with accuracy substats. This is a flat stats without any priority subsets, so it's a cell. Again, flat stats without any priority subsets. Flat stats, no priority. This is a support piece with it's a mix between a damage dealing piece, which is so it's a damage dealing piece plus a support piece. So these two are clashing substats and they are not like in a priority substats. So that's why I will be selling this piece. Retaliation, 5 star accuracy with speed. So there is a potential here to roll. So I will keep this to roll accuracy without any priority substats. So this will be a sell. So I've only kept 2 pieces. We can roll to see if we get land speed. Okay, we hit speed here. Okay, we hit double speed here. So this is a okay piece for an early mid-game account. But honestly, for my account level, this piece is not good enough. So I will sell it because this is my account. But if your account is still early mid-game level, this piece is actually st can still be good. Accuracy. So the only substat that I want here is speed. Okay, it hit 1 speed. Okay, so it didn't hit the second speed. So I'll roll it to +12 just to see if it hits speed again. If it doesn't hit a second speed, I'll most probably sell this. Okay, so it didn't hit the stats that I want. This will be a sell. Okay, so now I'll just go over some examples of gear pieces that I already have and what kind of piece I'm keeping. So let's start with the flat stats. So HP, attack, and defense. So I don't have any flat stat pieces on my account. But let's see if I go into equip, I have a few. So this piece, this is actually a bad piece, but I had it on like one of my filler champion, but I didn't want to take this piece out, so I just left it there. I didn't want to waste the gold. For an arbiter, like this is an example of a speed piece that has a flat stat, but it has speed, and I rolled it a triple speed on it. So it looks like a bad piece in terms of the main stat, but the triple speed is already worth the piece. So this is a really good piece for your speed booster. It also has accuracy, so it has 2 of the top priority substats and it rolled into it. So that's why this is a good piece to keep. Same with this, it's a flat stat piece that has the speed subsets. So I rolled two into it, and this is in a speed set as well. So it's an additional priority and a good combination. That's why I keep it. This is a deflection set. So this is not a good piece. I had it just for to complete my mission. But so this ignoring these two pieces, so I only have two pieces that are considered like specialty pieces that have speed subsets on it that rolled into them. All right, now we'll go into the HP pieces. So just a quick look at it. I have 65 pieces, which is quite a lot, but this is equipped. So if I'm not going into equipped, all of them have about two pieces except for Savage, and we'll take a look at why uh, in a moment. So HP percentage, so it's hit two of the priority substats in accuracy. It also had another secondary priority substats defense, which is decent, so that's why I kept it. Then it rolled into crit rate and crit damage as well, so this is a pretty decent piece. This is a HP percentage. So this had what I mentioned before is like a damage dealer piece, right? So it's a HP percentage that has the crit rate and crit damage, which is the priority substats, and then it rolled into speed as well. So this is why this is a good piece. This is HP percentage. This is a support piece. It has the supportive substats, accuracy and defense, and it rolled two into the stats that I want. So that's why I kept it. HP, this is a damage dealing piece. It was a legendary piece. It had crit rate, crit damage as the primary priority substat. It had defense and attack, which are the secondary priority substats, mainly defense, not attack. But I rolled double into crit rate, so that's why I kept it. So this piece here, again, a support piece, I had double at a speed substat here, a priority speed substat. I rolled double into it, so that's why I kept it. So in Savage, this piece here is a damage dealer piece, right? It has speed, it has crit rate. I rolled one into crit rate and two into resistance. So this is technically not a good piece, but it's yeah, this is actually not a good piece. I would probably sell this. The only reason I'm keeping it is because it has speed and crit rate. So comparing to the other piece that I have here, this, so these two pieces that I have. So this has speed and crit rate, but this has crit rate. This has crit rate, crit damage, but none of them don't have speed. So I'm keeping this just because this has a speed roll. So I might need this to complete a build. Of the 5-star pieces, this has double speed. So this is a supportive piece that may or may not be used. This is actually not really a good piece because of the other subset roll, but it rolled double speed and 17 speed is on the higher end, so that's why I'm keeping it just in case I need a champion with high speed and HP percentage chest. Now this is kind of like this piece right here, right? So it has 5 speed and 15 crit rate. This has 6 speed and 14 crit rate. So it's one off, but this is a 5-star compared to a 6-star. So it already loses out. If I roll to 16, it has 10% less health. So this is already better than this. So comparatively, I think this is a worse piece, so I will sell this. All right. So one more example. Two more example. So same thing here, speed with crit rate when I got it and I rolled double speed, so I'm keeping it. And immortal here. Again, this is a damage dealing piece, so I have a HP percentage, crit rate, and crit damage, and I roll double into crit damage. So that's why I'm keeping that piece. All right, attack percentage. Now, attack percentage is 100% a damage dealing piece, so all we are looking for is crit rate, crit damage, and speed. So double speed, crit rate, that's why I'm keeping it. We have crit rate, speed. So this two piece, I rolled HP percentage and defense. So this is technically not a good piece, but I'm keeping it because this is the only attack percentage piece that I have in this set. Here, attack percentage, I rolled double speed and it also had crit rate, so that's why I kept it. Again, double speed, just because I had double speed, I'm keeping it. So this one doesn't have speed. So this one rolled HP percentage, so this is probably a sell. I'm probably going to sell it. And this one, crit rate and accuracy, which are the secondary subset. So this one, I'll probably sell this one here. Then attack percentage. So this one is pretty simple. Crit rate, roll double crit, roll the speed. But initially I had double crit rate, so that's why I kept it. Here again, speed crit rate, so that's why I kept it. So all you're looking for is just the priority subsets. If you rolled into them, then it's a keep. As simple as that. This piece here, I did not roll it. I think I just got it this morning from Clan Boss. But yeah, so attack percentage, I have speed, accuracy, and crit damage. So I have three good stats. If I rolled into it, let's see what I'll get. If I roll double defense, I'll probably sell this. No, I will sell it if it rolls defense. Okay, I just jinxed it. Yeah, I think I will sell this piece. And this one here. So this one, it only has one good subset, it's the crit rate. So I only want it if it rolls crit rate. If it doesn't roll crit rate, I will probably sell it. I will sell it if it doesn't roll crit rate. Okay, yeah, so it didn't get crit rate, so I'll sell it. So this is, again, because of my level of account, I'm selling it if I didn't roll the stats that I want. If you are still mid-game, those pieces can still be usable. If you roll up to 8 and one of it hit that stats, you can still keep it. Defense percentage, so this is a combination of either a support or damage dealing piece. So for this piece, so this is a damage dealing piece, crit rate, crit damage. So this is not a good piece. So it rolled pretty bad. I'm gonna sell this. This rolled double resistance and it has speed. So this is okay because some champions do need resistance for to solo dragon in lifesteal, so that's why I kept it. It's like a kind of a specialty solo dragon piece for Dragon 20. But now that Dragon 25 is available, the solo build is not really usable anymore, but I'm just keeping it just in case I need it in the future. Defense with double accuracy and crit rate, so this is good. Now this defense with triple attack and accuracy. So this is technically it's not a good piece, but I have found a use in this piece for Clan Bonds teams in the past when I was using a non-unkillable team for attack-based champions. So I need the defense to increase their survivability, but the attack also helps increase their like raw damage. So that's why I kept it, and I still use this piece occasionally when I'm doing like showcases of non-unkillable team. So that's why I keep it as like a specialty piece for my account. Speed crit rate, speed crit damage, sorry, and then double resistance crit rate. So this is again, it's I guess it's a worse version of this piece, so I will be selling it. Um, So defense, this is a supportive piece with speed, crit rate, double resistance. So this is usable, especially for like Hard Doom Tower where we uh, need resistance on some champions, or like just to resist dungeon debuffs. This defense with triple defense roll. This it rolled all of it into flat stats and it has speed and accuracy. So I'm tempted to sell this, but I'm kind of just keeping this piece as a like just to show how bad my luck is when I roll this piece. Defense with double speed. Yep, I'm keeping it because of the double speed. This one, defense double speed again, keeping it because of the double speed. This is a damage dealer piece. I rolled triple crit damage, crit rate, so I'm keeping this. Okay, so now I'm going to go into like the specialty resist and accuracy pieces. So resistance, yep, you want speed. So this is an example of a specialty piece that I mentioned where you want crit rate. So this rolled double crit rate, which is good for like max HP nukers, and it also has speed, so that's why I kept it. So this is again a resistance piece. It has speed, it rolled into accuracy. So this is more for like hard Doom Tower content, where you have a resistance. You want you to build your champions in resistance, but you also need them to have some accuracy. An example is like Drexstar. to use this piece on, so that's why I kept it. Now this, okay, this is a specialty piece that I mentioned. It rolled really high crit rate and then it has crit damage, so these are for max HP nukers to use. This resistance with double speed. Accuracy, so accuracy piece, all you want is speed. So double speed here. This is a specialty piece. It has high crit damage, but honestly, this is not that good actually. What you're mainly looking for is crit rate. So I'll probably sell this piece. So accuracy with double speed, double speed, again, double speed. So as you can see, accuracy with speed, accuracy with speed. So this is in like a good set. So that's why I'm keeping at least a couple of them in a good set. So this is like, again, a specialty piece of crit rate, crit damage. Okay, so those are some of the examples of gear that I keep on my account, how I manage my chest. All right, once again, let me know if you like this video, if you think it's helpful. Let me know what else you would like me to add in future videos of this series. All right, thank you for watching. Goodbye.